calling him now.
Can you switch over to camera? There
Yeah.
you go. What's going on, buddy?
Not much.
You want to do it like this and record it? Or do you want me to go live and you just start asking me the questions on my page?
Actually, I, have my setup, which is not a very good setup. It's just one phone recording the other phone. Yeah. I was thinking...
All right.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and you just want to call me on your regular phone, or you want to do it right here?
We can do it right now if... That's my, entire setup.
Okay.
Yeah. So, first, why don't you tell the, story of the first couple TODs that you had a lot of behind-the-scenes work with?
All right, no problem. The first TOD, here's how the first TOD came about. Combat Zone Wrestling had already done a show in Dover, Delaware, and they did a few shows prior to coming to Dover in a small town called Smyrna, Delaware, at a fire station called Station 41. They had a few shows there, and then they had a couple shows in town on the highway behind a place called the Breakaway Tavern. And out back is where the famous wife beater Nate Hatred 200 light tube deathmatch took place. I don't know if you saw that. I think it's on. They said it couldn't be done again or something like that. And it's on that DVD. And then they did a show at a bar in Dover called Froggy's Bar and Grill. And Tajiri and Tommy Dreamer was on the show that night. And I think Justice Payne had a match. And I can't remember who it was he was working, but they broke some bar stools and damaged some property in the bar, and of course they were no longer welcome to come back to the bar and perform there. So they were stranded without having a place in Dover to run any shows, and Dover's where they where they really wanted to come to. So I went to a show in Philadelphia, and I overheard Zandig's wife talking about how she would like to really get back to Delaware. Possibly in Dover again, because they really liked Dover. So I was standing right there when I heard her say it, and I approached her and introduced myself. She went and got John. John came and talked to me. We discussed the bar in Dover called Rack's Bar and Billiards, which was owned by a good friend of mine named Jimmy Kozel. And he asked me about a week or two prior to putting together the TODs, and probably a month or so prior to that, if I could go ahead and bring an independent wrestling federation to Dover to perform at his bar, which this bar is huge. It's the one where you see Sick Nick Mondo and John Zandig go off the top of the roof at Rack's Bar and Billiards. So that bar right there is owned by one of my best friends, and I pretty much promoted that show all over Dover to bring a Dover crowd to see the ultra-violent style that CZW was introducing, you know what I mean, and what they were, doing the whole death match, was awesome, you know what I mean. It drew a lot of people. So I went ahead and spoke to Jimmy and told him that I met a man that owned a company called Combat Zone Wrestling, and I told John about Kozel. Kozel told me to let John know that he'd like to meet him. I set up an appointment for them to meet. They met. John walked away about an hour later, $24,000 richer. Went ahead and signed a contract to do 3 shows in 2002 for a pretty decent little bit amount of money for each one of them shows. But you do the math. But anyway, so for 2 years, shows were done at Rack's Bar and Billiards. So 12 and 12 is 24. It was 3 shows in 2002 and 3 more shows in 2003, and so it was pretty good. So we, me and my friends, we promoted it. We let everybody know that there was going to be a wrestling show in Dover, and that I was also going to be on that show. One of the shows, the Havoc and Hellaware show that year. Me versus Steve C. For the HCW title. He got the better hand of me in that match, and he got the win, and the rest is history. You know what I mean? That's when my name really got out there, and the Hellaware Assassin name started to take off then, and the birth of tournament TOD1 and TOD2 was given land, you know what I mean, to go ahead and pull that show off. So, yeah, I have a big. I'm really responsible for making that happen. If it wouldn't have been for Rax Bar and Billiards and being a great location for that type of a wrestling event to take place, it just wouldn't have looked better anywhere else. I mean, it kept them out of a field. It kept them out of something showing the background as being woods and cornfields. It put them into a parking lot with a big building behind it, a big, huge locker room. I mean, that was probably the greatest venue that I think CZW had ran in between 1998 or 99 up until 2002. When they came to Rax Bar and Billiards, that was a great place, a great location to have wrestling shows. A lot of controversy followed after CZW came to town with the ultraviolet style. It got out amongst city officials that I had something to do with bringing that company down, and that's when the ban on combative fighting and professional wrestling was put into effect for Dover, Delaware, without having a permit and some type of athletic commission being created in Delaware, because we had none back then. So that's why they were able to come to Delaware and do the things that they did, which wasn't allowed to be done in other states. So, Delaware was one of them states where we had no athletic commission. There was no ban on it. So they were able to go ahead and get crazy for a couple years, and more than a couple, because you got to think of the Smyrna shows, and you got to think of the Breakaway Tavern, and plus the 2 years being at Rax Bar and Billiards in Dover. That's the birth of it. I mean, they took off from Sewell, New Jersey. They got the big cage at Depth 3, debuting in the arena, which I was there for that too. And it just kept rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling. So, that's how it all went down with Rax Bar and Billiards and Combat Zones Tournament of Death 1 and 2. So what's up? What's the next one?
Would you consider drug use to be a big issue in independent locker rooms, especially for the deathmatch locker rooms?
Well, it depends. Listen, we all have our bad habits. You got to understand one thing, that what we do is very, very dangerous. And taking the bumps that we take in this business to go ahead and give them fans 199.99%, takes a toll on the workers. So, there are, times where, there shouldn't be things that, there shouldn't be that kind of, nonsense going on. But it's, it's something that's, it can't be controlled. You can put out a warning. You can say, hey, man, I'm dead against this. I'm dead against that. If you want to work for me, there's no drugs, and, but you can't do it. You can't, it's a subject that, I don't really care too less to talk about. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
I recently watched your match at King of the Deathmatch 2003, when Pondo had that bat and he had the fireworks and he was beating you with it. So how painful was that?
Oh, man, let me tell you, that match between Nick Gage and me and Pondo, that's when you're talking about King of the Death matches. It was painful. I think the most brutal shot in that whole entire match that really, that I felt for a couple days afterwards was definitely the vacuum cleaner shots to the head by Nick Gage. That was a Dirt Devil vacuum cleaner that was wrapped in barbed wire. I took like 3 good shots to the forehead with that. And as you can see in the second DVD, the losers bracket where me, Brandon Prophet, and Danny Havoc have a 3-way. You can see the damage done on my head and face as I'm entering the ring prior to that match taking place. And as we're coming out there, you can see the damage, man. I mean, it was brutal, man. It hurt. And but that second rope, oh my God, pile driver style, whatever Pondo wants to call it, onto the light tube walker and the chairs. And thank God that the street sign was pulled out, or I might not be here talking to you right now. That was a good bump. I tell you, it hurt. Because you're landing on metal. You're landing on that. It's back. There's no protection from my shirt to my skin. It's just my back and my bones. And I was a big boy then. I was around 255 pounds for that match. And So, it hurt, definitely hurt. The elbow drop that Nick Gage gave me onto the picture frame with the barbed wire laying on it, when he dropped that elbow, if you pay attention to that rollover there by me, you'll notice that there's some thumbtacks stuck in my cheekbone, and hanging on them thumbtacks is a piece of glass that's glued to the thumbtacks. And that was pretty painful because, Gage gave it to me. He didn't hold back. He tried to put me out quick. And but that's probably the most brutal, besides me and Necro, probably in 2005. So yeah, it's pretty painful.
What is the most painful bump you've ever taken in the ring for pro wrestling?
The most painful bumps I've ever taken in the ring. Well, I've taken a lot out of the ring. In the ring, oh my gosh, I would have to say Steve C's elbow drop off the top rope from the Havoc and Hellaware show, where me and him had that brutal match, and that was pretty painful, man. My ribs were hurting for like, oh my God, I know, like 2 weeks. They were sore. He laid on me pretty hard. So yeah, that was pretty painful. Necro's oh my God, Necro's atomic knee drop with my pants full of thumbtacks. That was pretty painful. That was probably one of the most painful ones. That was at a Hellaware Championship Wrestling event in Delmar, Delaware, back in like summer 2005. It was pretty brutal. That was probably the most painful ones.
When you were putting together Hellaware Championship Wrestling, what was your vision for the promotion?
Well, we just basically wanted to, draw a decent crowd. Maybe get tone it. I don't know. We just wanted to have successful shows. We didn't really care whether or not, we got some, a friend of ours hooked up, with a public access channel who put us on. We just relied on advertising by our, word of mouth, Facebook, and our flyers. It was just a stepping stone. Really had no, dreams of, it becoming like a big, huge company and competing with all the other, independents that are out there. Well, nothing like that. We just threw a name out there. It was a catchy name. We had Mark and Jay Briscoe, good friends of mine, who live in Lower Delaware and in Sussex County, and they were on that mandatory suicide show that we had. So they're good friends of mine, man. They're gonna be all right. But yeah, that's it. No, nothing really at all. We just wanted to have fun, pay our bills. Run shows, pay the bills, and that was it.
Noisy neighbors. Not sure if you hear that, but that's what it is. So that match with brain damage, when you take that roof bump, what was going through your mind when you were falling off the roof through the table with the tubes and everything?
Oh my! Well, when we discussed it, I was a little skeptical about doing it. Because that was going to be, my first, bump from that high up. That's the highest. The only highest I've ever been higher than that was when I leaped onto Danny Havoc from the balcony section at the arena, off the top of the stairs down onto him, my elbow dropping through the table. Other than that, that was pretty high. That was almost 19 feet from the ground to my feet. And then, being 6 foot tall didn't help matters. But I don't know. What's going through your mind? You're looking down there and you're like, I've got to nail this. I've got to hit this. I can't mess this up. But if I do, and I don't hit the tables at all, and I go splashing straight down onto the ground, well, then that's going to make for good video. And but I hit it, and that was painful because the table only broke center, And when it did, it was folding up slowly underneath my back and my shoulders. Now remember, I'm laying on top of broken glass and strands of barbed wire. I'm laying there, and the table is slowly but surely still wanting to close and fold up around me. So they had to peel me up out of there pretty quick. Now, if you get that DVD and you watch it, you can just see how bad my back looked when they lifted me up out of all that glass. I mean, I was on a big pile of it. So yeah, it's fearful, you know what I mean? But you got to get over fear, and you just got to go for it. You know what I mean? You got to do it. You got to do it. It's what we got to do.
You recently spoke out against the use of light tubes. What would you consider the backlash you got from that, if any?
Yeah, I caught a little heat from it, but I think once them guys realized, what it is that I'm talking about and how dangerous that poison is inside, then it got silenced. Nobody said anything else, and after that, I mean, there was only a couple guys that said, it is what it is, but nobody could deny, what I said, because they know it's the truth. Mercury, you cannot get that shit into your bloodstream. It's not good. You'll die from that. In the long run, you'll get cancer from it. Something will happen. It'll get into your lungs because you're breathing it in. It's poison. It will eat away at your lungs like acid. So, I don't care what, people said, that, we're trying to be negative about, the post, but, it's water under the bridge. It is what it is, I mean, nothing but, well, I mean, I don't wish nothing bad to happen to anybody. I mean, I would just hate to have to read one day that a professional wrestler passed away from cancer due to mercury in his blood. I mean, it's just not good. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Feel me on that one?
I understand. You gotta be safe.
You gotta be safe, man. I mean, there's other things that you can do. You know what I mean? I get a better, if I was a fan, I get a better pop out of watching somebody get power bombed through some tempered glass. You know what I mean? Like, that's just a lot better than watching someone go through the light tubes, because at least the tempered glass is going to break and shatter into thousands of little pieces. You know what I mean? So you're not laying on anything that has any chemical laying on it. You're just laying on the glass, and that's a great pop. And you could do a lot more things with glass than what you can in light tubes. What can you do with the light tubes other than swing them on each other, lay down on all that powder, and just get sick? It's not good. It's not good. Do something else.
Yeah, at least with the glass, you could do stuff with it after it breaks.
Exactly. You know what I mean? If you break a tube, you know what I was told? Hellaware, whenever you have to use a tube, shake all the dust and mercury out of it before you use it as your weapon. So before I would ever gouge anybody in the forehead, I would go ahead and shake that powder out of that tube first. You know what I mean? Before I would apply it to any one of my opponents. So, I was trying to be as safe as possible, but, I can't call the kettle black because I've rolled in them. You know what I mean? I've taken them. You know what I mean? It's just, it's not a wise thing. It scares me because I got some pretty good scars on my back from some lacerations from the glass. And I wondered while I was laying there if that powder wasn't laying all up inside that blood, you know what I mean, and getting into my bloodstream, my flesh, open flesh laying next to that. You know what I mean? It's something to think about. It's dangerous. I just advise people to be safe. You're going to do what you're going to do what you got to do. Just be safe.
There's ways to take the mercury out of the tubes. You can poke a hole in the bottom, but, then again, it doesn't explode when you hit your opponent with it.
I didn't hear you there, but you were breaking up on. Did you say something?
I said, well, technically there are ways to take the mercury out of the tube by, like poking holes in the bottom of it and draining the mercury straight out, but granted, that way you don't get
Yes, you can do that. That's a good thing to do. You know what I mean? I mean, if companies are doing that, then okay. But listen, let me tell you something else. Even though that they drain the powder out of the tube, guess what else is inside the tube? The coating that's on the glass on the inside will still contain residue on it. There's no escaping it. The best thing they can do is get fluorescent light tubes without mercury in them, the kind that just light up. They're real clear. They're see-through. You know what I mean? You can get them long ones like that. They're a little bit more expensive, but look better. But I just think the sheets of glass is a lot better than go ahead and using the light tubes. But I do like it. As a fan, I don't mind watching it.
I personally don't really have a stance on the use of light tubes. I'm like, it's cool, but, you know, some people see it as a novelty, some people see it as exhilarating. I personally see it as a good weapon occasionally, but, you know, when you're using it every other match, that's going to build up.
Right, yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. In fact, I'm pretty sure there's only one tournament ever that has not used light tubes, and it's UPW's Lord of Hardcore up in Gladstone, Michigan. They never use the light tubes. They've used broken glass, but never light tubes.
Great. That's good, you know, and that's good. That's good. See, somebody cares. Whoever runs that company,
Peter B.
you know
Beautiful,
what I mean?
I think.
They care about their workers.
I think the guy that runs it is Peter B. Beautiful. I know he has his hands in it, but he straight up told me once that he's not the promoter. He said he just has his hands in it. And helps run it, or something like that. You know. But, you know, he's had broken glass and razor wire and leather straps. And beds of nails. So, how does one typically prepare for a deathmatch? How did you typically prepare for one?
Just go sit back. You know what I mean? By yourself. Just relax. You know what I mean? Because you know what's getting ready to happen. I try not to get all hyped up. You know, I don't listen to no music. You know, I don't run. I don't do no push-ups. I just like to sit down. Sit down in my chair. And I just think. I meditate. You know what I mean? I talk with you know, the person that I'm getting ready to go out there and try to kill. You know what I mean? So it's just, some people prepare different. You know, some people listen to music and they work out a little bit. They get their blood flowing. They get themselves all hyped up. You know what I mean? Their heart rate is up before they even go out to the ring. I like to go out calm, cool, and collected. Go out there and have some fun. You know what I mean? And put on a good show. You know what I mean? Win, lose, or draw. I was liked. Win, lose, or draw. I was loved by them Combat Zone Wrestling fans. I mean, and I really cared about them cats, man. You know what I mean? I made a lot of good friends with them, man. So, you know, it's just don't prepare like most people. I'm just to myself.
I'm not sure how many people know this, but you'll try to come out of retirement, right?
Yes, I am. You know, thinking about coming back. I've got some. I got an announcement that I will be making here at the end of this interview. It's pretty cool. It is for me, and I'm pretty sure it will be for the fans out there that you know, I mean, know their history in professional wrestling. But yeah, I wouldn't mind coming back. You know, I mean, I feel good. You know, I mean, I'm only 212 pounds. I used to be 264. I've lost a lot of weight. You know what I mean? I feel good. You know what I mean? I'm taking my supplements. You know what I mean? I'm just taking care of my body. You know what I mean? And I feel good. And I'm seeing that I'm looking at these upstarts, and I'm looking at cats. You know what I mean? It's been around now for 5 and 6 years, and I know them, and I would love the opportunity to meet them one day in the ring and get the opportunity to work with these guys. And so that's why I'm considering coming back. But I think this time I'll stay down here in the South, work Georgia, you know, Central and Southern Georgia or something, and a little bit of Florida down here, and just see where it goes. But, like I said, I got a good friend of mine that I've known for years who has been in this business about as long as I have. She's been in about 15, 16 years, maybe a little bit more, but not much. And she's living in Alabama, and everybody knows her as Gorgeous George, who used to manage Randy Macho Man Savage in WCW. She's also been in ECW, and she's living in Alabama. She's going to conventions and you know, making appearances here and there. And we've been talking for a while, and I told her that I would love the opportunity to go ahead and manage her, you know, get her bookings and appearances here at a bunch of the independents that are here in Georgia and Florida, in this area, in the southeast, and just see where it goes. You know what I mean? Get together and maybe work as a team. And the Hellaware Assassin makes his debut or makes his return to the ring. Most likely, Gorgeous George will be on my side. You know what I mean? So she's amazing, and care about her, and just want to see good things happen with her. You know what I mean? I don't want her to be forgotten, because she definitely at one time was right up there. So, but other than that, it's I'm enjoying myself down here in Florida. So, but I'm ready to jump back in the square, sir.
Yeah, that would be something. So when you come back, do you plan on coming back with the more extreme style like you were doing, or technical?
Well, I can say this much: I'm not coming back to be a technical wrestler. That's for sure. I'm coming back because I got something to say. I got a statement to make. I mean, I got something I got to prove. You know what I mean? And I know that with hard work, man, and and confidence and determination, and the go power, man, and the willpower. You know what I mean? To accomplish this and take it, take a second chance at it. Sometimes it's better the second time around, man. You know what I mean? And being so that I am not the same size as I was, a couple years back. And I haven't been this size in a long time. You know what I mean? I'm feeling good, man, and I'm strong. And if I get the opportunity from any promoter out there that books me and puts me on a show, all I can say, man, is let all your friends know what's going to happen. And guess who's coming to town? And he ain't the same as he was 4 years ago. Things are going to be different this time around. Next question.
How the wing rat situation? Was there a lot of wing rats for independent shows when you were doing them, or not?
Well, let me say this to you, Cody. I've been going to wrestling shows since 1995. My first shows in Philadelphia were at corner Swanson and Rittner at Viking Hall to see ECW. I already heard about him being there for like a year, a little bit over a year probably. And a buddy of mine and I rode up and we saw the show, and we went to every one of them prior to them closing up the doors and heading on to WCW and the WWE. So it to the WWE. So it I have seen a lot of shit. I can say this much: there are rats, or the name wouldn't be there. We all know what they are, But as far as like females that are well known in the business, that are rats, there's a handful of them. I won't put their names out there and put them on blast. But the groupies, the girls, you know what I mean? The girls that come to the shows. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, well, I'm going to lose you in a minute. My battery's getting ready to die on this phone. So here, we're going to wrap it up here. But yes, there's a shitload of rats out there, bro. You know what I mean? Maybe we'll do another interview and we can call it, Hellaware Assassin and Cody from Forever Deathmatch. We'll have a little rat session. You know what I mean? We'll talk about rats, and I'll go ahead and tell you some good stories.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Well, I'll hook you up anytime, man. You know what I mean?
Anytime. Most times are good for me.
We can keep it going. I'll keep you informed on what's going on. You know what I mean? I want to stay in touch with you anyway, my man, because you've got a Facebook page. You know what I mean? That that the word is spreading about it. You know what I mean? People are, I don't know what the total is as far as how many viewers you have or how many fans you have that like your page, but you just keep rocking and rolling with it, man, and get these interviews, and I'll get you some myself. You know what I mean? I'll push some numbers off to you that you can call. Just give me a few days to work on stuff. You know what I mean? And I can get you some connections and get you some other guys out there that I'm pretty sure wouldn't mind doing, an interview with you. So, but yeah.
That would be great.
That, you know what I mean? And with me and Gorgeous George working, you know what I mean? It's it's a site that I definitely want to keep some information going on. On what's going on with myself. So keep it going. Congratulations, you got a pretty cool page there, buddy.
Yeah. Over 300. We're about to hit 400, actually.
Right on.
Yeah. So we'll have to do that rat session sometime.
Yes, we can definitely do the rat session. We can make that happen.
Anytime's good. Anytime's is good for me.
Right prior to Axel Rotten's passing, Brian's a good friend of mine. I was gonna be on his podcast radio show, and but he took a turn for the worse, and he's not here with us anymore. Rest in peace, Brian.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I'm here. I got you, buddy. Anytime, man. All right.
Yeah. We all have his demons. We all have our demons. Turns out his got the best of him one time.
Right on.
Yeah. Yeah. A true legend.
Yes, he was.
Yeah. You had a match with him one time 8 years ago. What? Remember? I think.
Yeah, I wrestled him in 2008. And, it was for DCW. It was their first ever steel cage match for the vacant DCW Hardcore Heavyweight Championship. Or the title. So we went ahead and they booked it, me versus him, and I just wish that could have been, maybe shot, by somebody like some professionals, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? It's, those that love it, they love it. Those that didn't watch it, it's all good. It was a good match between me and him, man. He's a good friend of mine, man. He's dearly missed.
Yeah.
All right, well, listen, Cody, before my phone dies on you, man, we're going to go ahead and end this interview.
Okay.
Because I've got to eat my dinner, so go ahead and hit me with one more question. I'll try to make it quick for you.
So, how did you come up with the name Hellaware Assassin?
All right, here's what's going on. A friend of mine had a local independent record label in Wilmington, Delaware called Hellaware Entertainment. We were putting out street CDs throughout Wilmington, Dover, and Sussex County, Delaware, for an artist called John Connor, who now runs Damn It Boy Entertainment in Tennessee. He's a good friend of ours, and we were pushing CDs for him. He was an up-and-coming rapper. He knows Pharrell Williams, Bubba Sparks, Haystack. I'm good friends with them CWB boys. All the Deep South hip hop artists. Bubba Sparks and Jelly Roll and it's all them cats, man, from the Tennessee area, Ritz and everybody. So we're spread out. I wrestle, and my boys one day we were sitting around and we were trying to come up with a name for myself. At the time I was the Delaware Destroyer. When I worked for Jason Knight for Assault Championship Wrestling in 2000, I think I wrestled Bull Dread for the hardcore title, and lost to him in a Fans Bring the Weapons match. Pretty brutal. And then I got back to Delaware, and my boy said he was going to go ahead and spit this rhyme, and the Delaware Destroyer, it was what he was going to call himself in the song. So I said, well, I'm going to drop it then, and I'm going to go ahead and pick a different name, and I like the Hellaware thing, so I just come up with Hellaware Assassin. With a buddy of mine named Chad, and he threw the name out too. Well, he threw it out there, and then I just jumped on it. I was like, yeah, that's dope. I said, I like that. Hellaware Assassin, bang. So that was me. Plus, being so, I was a fighter on the streets when I was a teenager. I hanged and banged and shit when I served my nickel. You know what I mean? I was just a tough teenager. I didn't take no shit from nobody. So, and I always, who didn't want to be an assassin when they were a kid, 17, 18, 19 years old, I want to be an assassin. But anyway, so I just took the name, Hellaware, and then Assassin. And that's it. The rest is history.
Well, this has been a great interview, and you gotta charge your phone and eat your dinner, and...
Gee, I definitely gotta eat my dinner. The
yeah.
phone and stuff, it won't take long to charge it. But I'm standing outside, so I'm not all, inside in everybody's ear while I'm doing this interview. Give them some respect inside the home,
Yeah.
I mean...
So it's been a great interview. I gotta upload this to YouTube, gotta stop my camera. And we'll have to do this again sometime.
No problem, buddy. You have a good one, Cody.
You too.
And hey, and everybody out there, check it out, man. Check out his Facebook page, Forever Deathmatch. Get it? Forever Deathmatch. Later, Cody.
Yeah, facebook.com/FDM. FDM is all capitalized. Group page.
That's right.
Or page group.
You heard it? You heard
All
it first.
one
You heard it first.
word.
Wow.
Yeah.
Out.
Got it.